The siren wailed through the quiet suburban street in suburban Chicago, blue and red lights flashing like accusations in the night. Ashlyn's heart pounded as she clutched Aspen's hand. The two of them backed against the wall of their small apartment building, facing down the officers who had been called by anonymous neighbors suspicious of unnatural behavior. But then, unbelievably, her mother, Evelyn, the woman who had spent years spewing venom about those people, stepped forward, arms outstretched, blocking the police with her own body, her voice steady as she declared, "You will not touch my daughter." Ashlyn's mind reeled, the world tilting on its axis. How could this be happening? Evelyn, who had once thrown Ashlyn's high school diary across the room upon discovering scribbled confessions of crushes on girls, now stood like a human shield. The officers hesitated, their hands hovering near holsters, while Ashlyn's grip on Aspen's fingers tightened, a silent plea for this nightmare to end. Inside, a storm raged. Was this redemption, or just another layer of manipulation? Evelyn had always controlled everything. The family dinners laced with judgment, the church sermon she dragged Ashlyn to, preaching fire and brimstone against anything that deviated from her rigid worldview. Yet here she was, defying authority for the very thing she despised. Aspen whispered urgently, "Ash, we need to run." But Ashlyn couldn't move, transfixed by her mother's unexpected defiance. The lead officer, a burly man with a mustache that twitched in annoyance, barked, "Ma'am, step aside. We're responding to a disturbance call." Evelyn didn't budge. Disturbance? My daughter loving someone isn't a disturbance. It's her life. The words hung in the air, foreign coming from Evelyn's lips. Ashlyn's thoughts spiraled. All those years of hiding, of pretending to date boys to appease her, of swallowing the bile of her mother's casual slurs at pride parades on TV. And now this. It felt like a trap, a way for Evelyn to reclaim control after Ashlyn had finally moved out 6 months ago, declaring her independence and her love for Aspen. The standoff stretched, neighbors peeking from curtains, phones raised to capture the drama. One officer radioed for backup, his eyes narrowing at the trio. Ashlyn's inner voice screamed, "Why now? Why protect me when you've spent my whole life tearing me down?" Memories flooded her. Evelyn's face twisting in disgust when Ashlyn came out at 18, the slammed doors, the forced therapy sessions with a counselor who echoed Evelyn's beliefs that it was just a phase. Aspen, ever the optimist, had urged Ashlyn to cut ties completely, but blood was thick, and Ashlyn had clung to scraps of hope for reconciliation. Evelyn turned slightly, her eyes meeting Ashlyn's for a fleeting second, filled with something Ashlyn couldn't decipher: regret? Fear. "I won't let them take you," Evelyn muttered, loud enough for the officers to hear. The words ignited a fire in Ashlyn's chest. Take me? For what? Loving Aspen? The call had been about a loud argument earlier that evening, but Ashlyn knew the subtext. The neighbors' whispers about those lesbians disrupting the peace. Aspen's family, progressive and accepting, had warned them about moving to this conservative enclave, but love made them blind to risks. As more sirens approached, Ashlyn's resolve hardened. She stepped forward, pulling Aspen with her. "Mom, what are you doing here?" Her voice cracked, betrayal and confusion warring inside. Evelyn had shown up unannounced an hour ago, pounding on the door, demanding to talk. The argument that followed had spilled into the hallway, voices raised about Ashlyn's choices, until someone called the cops. Now Evelyn's protection felt like a twisted joke. "I'm here because you're my daughter," Evelyn replied, her tone unyielding. But Ashlyn's mind raced. Is that enough? After all the pain? The backup arrived, tires screeching. Officers piled out, assessing the scene. One recognized Evelyn from community events. She was a pillar at the local church, known for her outspoken views on traditional values. Whispers spread among them. Ashlyn's thoughts turned inward. If she lets this happen, if Mom really stands by me, what does that mean for us? For Aspen and me? Aspen squeezed her hand, grounding her. "We can handle this together," Aspen murmured. But Ashlyn doubted it. The fractures in her family ran deep, and this moment felt like the epicenter of an earthquake. Finally, the lead officer sighed, gesturing to his team. "All right, folks, let's de-escalate. No one's under arrest unless there's a real issue." Evelyn lowered her arms slowly, but her stance remained protective. Ashlyn's heart ached with unanswered questions. Why the change? Or is it even real? As the police began questioning them separately, Ashlyn pulled Aspen aside, her whisper fierce. I don't trust this. Mom's never been on our side. Aspen's eyes, usually warm, hardened. Maybe she's finally seeing the light. Or maybe it's guilt. Either way, we can't let this divide us. The interrogation dragged on, officers probing about the argument. Evelyn spun a tale of a family misunderstanding, downplaying the homophobic undertones that had fueled it. Ashlyn seethed internally. She's covering for herself, not for me. When it was her turn, Ashlyn spoke truthfully, her voice steady despite the turmoil. My mother and I disagree on my relationship with Aspen. That's all. The officer nodded, but his glance at Aspen and her lingered, judgmental. Society's weight pressed down, reminding Ashlyn of the battles ahead. As the police wrapped up, warning them to keep it down, Evelyn approached. We need to talk. Really talk. Ashlyn's instinct was to refuse, but curiosity, and a sliver of hope, won out. They retreated inside the apartment, the door clicking shut like a seal on fate. Aspen busied herself in the kitchen, giving them space, but Ashlyn felt her presence like a lifeline. Sitting across from Evelyn, Ashlyn's mind buzzed. What price will this reconciliation cost? Evelyn's eyes, red-rimmed, met hers. I saw the news last week. Another hate crime against a gay couple. It hit me hard. Made me think about you. Ashlyn's breath caught. Was that the catalyst? A news story piercing her mother's armor? But doubt lingered. People don't change overnight. You've said horrible things, Mom. Called me broken. Evelyn winced. I know. I was wrong. Scared. The church, your father. He left because he couldn't handle it, but I stayed holding on to hate. Ashlyn's father had bailed years ago, unable to cope with the family drama. Now Evelyn's admission felt raw, but Ashlyn's inner monologue raged. Is apology enough? After the isolation, the self-doubt you've instilled? They talked late into the night, Aspen joining eventually, her input cautious. Tension simmered. Evelyn's old biases slipping out, quickly retracted. Ashlyn wrestled with forgiveness. Do I owe her a second chance? Or protect my heart? By dawn, an uneasy truce formed, but Ashlyn knew this was just the beginning. The real test would come with time, with society's gaze, with the choices each would make. The next morning, sunlight filtered through the blinds, casting stripes on the living room floor where Ashlyn paced, her mind a whirlwind. Evelyn had crashed on the couch, insisting on staying to make things right. But Ashlyn's doubts festered like an open wound. Aspen, brewing coffee, shot her a concerned look. You okay? That was intense last night. Ashlyn nodded absently, but inside she questioned everything. If Mom's change is genuine, why does it feel so precarious? Like one wrong word could shatter it. Evelyn stirred, sitting up with a groan. Morning, girls. The term girls hung awkwardly, an attempt at normalcy. Ashlyn's response was clipped. Coffee. As they sat around the table, silence stretched until Evelyn broke it. I want to understand. Tell me about you too. Aspen glanced at Ashlyn, who shrugged. Aspen spoke first, her voice even. We met at college in a literature class. Bonded over poetry, Whitman actually. His words about love without boundaries resonated. Evelyn nodded slowly, but Ashlyn saw the flicker of discomfort. Internally, Ashlyn seethed. She's trying, but is it enough to erase the past? The conversation delved deeper, Evelyn asking questions that bordered on invasive. How do you handle the stares? The judgment? Aspen's reply was measured. We ignore what we can, fight what we must. But Ashlyn's patience thinned. Why probe now after years of silence? Evelyn confessed more. The church taught me wrong. I've been reading books, articles. Realizing love is love. Ashlyn's skepticism surged. Convenient timing. Is this self-preservation or true awakening? Their fragile peace shattered when Ashlyn's phone buzzed. A text from her brother Tyler, who lived across town. Mom's with you? Dad called, freaking out. Says she's gone off the deep end. Ashlyn's stomach dropped. Her father, remarried and distant, still pulled strings through Tyler. She showed the message to Evelyn, who paled. He doesn't understand. Ashlyn's inner voice accused. Neither did you until yesterday. The family rift widened in her mind, choices looming. Align with Mom's newfound allyship, or protect the life she'd built with Aspen. Aspen suggested a walk to clear heads, but Evelyn insisted on coming. In the park, families picnicked, a stark contrast to their tension. A group of teens nearby whispered, pointing at Ashlyn and Aspen holding hands. Evelyn noticed, stepping closer protectively. Ignore them. But Ashlyn pulled away. You've been those whisperers, Mom. Evelyn's eyes filled. I have. And I'm sorry. The apology landed heavy, stirring Ashlyn's conflict. Forgiveness feels like betrayal to my younger self, who suffered alone. Back home, Tyler arrived unannounced, banging on the door. Mom, what the hell? Defending this. He gestured at Ashlyn and Aspen. Evelyn stood firm. This is your sister and her partner. Respect them. Tyler's face reddened. Dad says you're brainwashed. The church is worried. Ashlyn's rage boiled. Family turning on each other over my love? Aspen interjected calmly. Tyler, we're not a threat. We're family too. But Tyler stormed out, vowing to fix this. The betrayal cut deep. Ashlyn confronted Evelyn. See what you've started? Now Tyler's against us. Evelyn's response was quiet. I started this long ago with my hate. Now I'm ending it. But Ashlyn's thoughts twisted. At what cost? My brother's love? That night, Aspen held her as she cried. We can move away, start fresh. But Ashlyn resisted. Running feels like defeat. I want to fight, but am I strong enough? Days blurred into a routine laced with unease. Evelyn attended a PFLA meeting with them, her presence awkward but earnest. She shared her story, voice trembling. I lost years with my daughter because of fear. Applause followed, but Ashlyn wondered. Is this performance or progress? Society's pressures mounted. Work colleagues gossiping after the police incident went viral on local social media. Ashlyn's boss pulled her aside. Keep personal drama out of the office. Her job, a graphic designer position she'd fought for, felt threatened. Inside she despaired. Loving Aspen cost me everything, family, stability. Is it worth it? Aspen faced her own battles. Her progressive parents supported them, but friends distanced themselves, wary of the drama. It's too much, one said. Aspen confided in Ashlyn. I love you, but this is testing us. Ashlyn's heart clenched. Am I dragging her down? The mouth-wandao duk nod. Choose love or spare her pain. Evelyn noticed the strain. Don't let my past ruin your future. But Ashlyn snapped. It already has. A turning point came at a family dinner Evelyn insisted on hosting. Tyler showed reluctant. Tensions peaked when he accused Evelyn of abandoning their values. Dad's right. You're choosing sin over family. Evelyn countered. No, I'm choosing love over hate. Ashlyn watched, torn. This divide is my fault? Or society's? Aspen defended her. Love isn't sin. Tyler left early, the door slamming like a verdict. Alone, Ashlyn reflected. Decisions define us. Mom's choice to protect me sparked this chaos. But without it, would we still hide? Aspen's whisper broke her reverie. We're in this together. Yet doubt lingered, the price of authenticity weighing heavy. Weeks passed, the rift with Tyler deepening into silence. Ashlyn's phone remained quiet, no texts, no calls, his absence a gaping wound. She stared at her reflection in the bathroom mirror, lines of stress etching her face. Why must my happiness fracture everything? Evelyn tried bridging the gap, calling Tyler daily, but he screened her. He's hurt, she said. But Ashlyn thought, hurt? I've been hurting for years under your roof. Aspen's work as a teacher brought its own storms. Parents complained after rumors spread, questioning her influence on students. The principal called her in. We support diversity, but keep personal life private. Aspen's defiance shone. My life isn't a secret. But internally she questioned. Is standing proud worth risking my career? Ashlyn held her that night, their roles reversing. We'll fight this. Yet Ashlyn's own fears mirrored. Society's judgment is relentless. When does resilience become recklessness? Evelyn dove deeper into advocacy, volunteering at LGBTQ centers, her transformation accelerating. She brought home pamphlets, eager to share. Look, support groups for parents. Ashlyn appreciated the effort, but resentment simmered. Too little, too late? A confrontation brewed when Evelyn suggested therapy for the family. To heal. Ashlyn exploded. Heal? You broke us. Evelyn recoiled. I know. But I'm trying. The words echoed, stirring Ashlyn's mouth wan. Reject her or risk more pain. News of a local anti-LGBTQ bill rallied them. Protests formed downtown. Aspen urged participation. We can't stay silent. Evelyn agreed, surprising Ashlyn. At the march, signs waved, chants rising. Ashlyn felt empowered, but spotting counter-protesters. Faces twisted in hate, triggered panic. One shouted slurs, echoing Evelyn's past words. Ashlyn turned to her mother. That's what you sounded like. Evelyn's face crumpled. I was wrong. But in the crowd, Tyler appeared among the opposition, holding a sign. Protect family values. Betrayal stabbed deep. My own brother? The clash escalated, police intervening as tempers flared. Ashlyn pushed through to Tyler. What are you doing? His eyes cold. Saving Mom from you. Evelyn arrived, pleading. Tyler, this isn't us. But he shoved past, disappearing. Ashlyn's world blurred with tears. Family torn asunder because of me. Aspen pulled her away. He's choosing hate. Not your fault. Yet guilt consumed. If I hid, would this happen? Post-protest, exhaustion set in. Evelyn confessed over dinner. I pushed Tyler into my old beliefs. Now he's clinging to them. Ashlyn's response was bitter. You created this monster. Evelyn nodded. And I'll fix it. But Ashlyn doubted. Some damages are permanent. Aspen's optimism waned. This is wearing us down. Their relationship strained, arguments flaring over small things. Dishes, schedules. Masks for deeper fears. Ashlyn wondered. Is our love strong enough to withstand this? A pivotal moment arrived when Ashlyn's workplace discrimination escalated. A colleague outed her publicly in a meeting, citing the viral video. Is this the image we want? Her boss demurred, but Ashlyn felt exposed. She quit on the spot, storming out. Home, she broke down. Everything's crumbling. Evelyn comforted her. Use this fire to rebuild. But Ashlyn's inner turmoil raged. Rebuild on what? Ruins of trust? Aspen proposed a bold move. Relocate to a more accepting city, like San Francisco. Fresh start. Evelyn opposed. Running won't solve family issues. Ashlyn torn between. Flee for peace or stay and fight. The decision loomed, ethics clashing, loyalty to self versus family. Tyler reached out unexpectedly, a terse email. Meet me. Alone. Ashlyn went heart pounding. At a coffee shop, he confronted her. You're destroying Mom. She countered. No, your hate is. Revelation spilled. Tyler admitted fear of change, of losing the family he knew. Dad poisoned me against you. Ashlyn's empathy stirred. He's a victim too? But anger prevailed. Choose love or lose us. He left undecided, the encounter a fragile thread. Back home, Ashlyn shared with Aspen and Evelyn. Optimism flickered. But society struck again. A vandalized car, slurs spray-painted. Fear gripped them. We can't stay, Aspen insisted. Evelyn offered. Move in with me temporarily. Ashlyn refused. Back to the source of pain? Yet necessity forced consideration. As tensions peaked, Ashlyn reflected. Every choice extracts a toll. Mom's protection opened doors to healing, but unleashed chaos. Is awakening worth the wreckage? The vandalism investigation dragged, police dismissive. Probably kids. But Ashlyn knew better. Hate's fingerprints were clear. She lay awake, Aspen's breathing steady beside her, but peace elusive. How much more can we endure? Evelyn's house loomed as a temporary haven, her offer repeated. It's safe there. Ashlyn's resistance cracked under pressure. They packed essentials, moving in reluctantly. The familiar walls evoked ghosts. Childhood arguments, suppressed feelings. Inside she battled. This is regression, not progress. Settling in, dynamics shifted. Evelyn cooked meals, attempting normalcy. Remember your favorite lasagna? Ashlyn nodded, but memories soured. Dinners where slurs slipped casually. Aspen adapted warily, her optimism strained. This could work. But private moments revealed cracks. I miss our space, she confessed. Ashlyn agreed, guilt gnawing. My family's mess is suffocating us. Tyler visited, tension thick. You're all under one roof? Insane. Evelyn mediated. We're trying. Arguments erupted, Tyler's accusations flying. You're enabling sin. Ashlyn defended. Love isn't sin. He stormed out again, but not before dropping a bomb. Dad's suing for mom's assets, claiming she's unstable. Shock rippled. Evelyn paled. He can't. But legal threats loomed, mouthwandowduk intensifying. Fight for what's right, or concede to preserve peace. Ashlyn hired a lawyer, dipping into savings. This is war. Aspen supported but worried. We're bleeding money. Internally, Ashlyn despaired. Love's price tag keeps rising. Evelyn's gratitude mixed with remorse. This is my fault. Ashlyn's response softened. We're in it now. Bonds strengthened amid adversity, but doubts persisted. Is unity illusion? Community backlash grew. Church friends shunned Evelyn, whispers turning to ostracism. She confided. I thought they were family. Ashlyn empathized. Welcome to my world. A support group meeting brought solace, stories mirroring theirs. One parent shared. I lost friends but gained my child. Evelyn nodded, tears flowing. Ashlyn watched, conflict easing. Maybe change is real. Aspen's school issues culminated in a hearing. Parents demanded her removal. She fought eloquently. My personal life doesn't affect my teaching. Backed by allies, she won but scarred. It's humiliating. Ashlyn held her. You're brave. But inside, am I worth this humiliation? A high-stakes family meeting with Dad arrived. He barged in, lawyer in tow. Evelyn, you've lost your mind. Accusations flew, brainwashing, immorality. Ashlyn confronted him. You left because you couldn't handle truth. He sneered. Truth? This is delusion. Tyler wavered, siding tentatively with them. Dad, maybe you're wrong. Betrayal reversed, Dad left furious, dropping the suit but vowing distance. Victory tasted bittersweet. Family fractured further but core strengthened. Ashlyn reflected. Sacrifices forge alliances. But at what personal cost? Aspen proposed again. Let's leave after this. Evelyn encouraged. Go build your life. Ashlyn hesitated. Abandon mom now? Healing moments accumulated. Evelyn attended pride events, waving flags. Ashlyn's pride swelled but caution remained. Slips happen. A slip did, Evelyn's offhand comment about lifestyle choices. Ashlyn called her out. It's not a choice. Evelyn apologized profusely. Progress imperfect. As months passed, Ashlyn found freelance work, stability returning. Their relationship deepened, trials bonding them. But society lurked. Another hate incident nearby reminded them of vulnerability. Ashlyn's inner monologue. We can't hide forever. Action calls. They decided to move, a compromise. Nearby city, accessible to Evelyn. Packing, emotions surged. Evelyn hugged them. I'm proud. Ashlyn's tears fell. Forgiveness feels liberating, terrifying. Settling into new life, challenges persisted but lighter. Tyler reconciled slowly, apologies exchanged. Family redefined, scars visible. Yet questions lingered. Was the pain necessary for growth? In their new apartment overlooking San Francisco Bay, Ashlyn and Aspen unpacked boxes. The city's fog a metaphor for lingering uncertainties. Ashlyn paused, holding a photo of Evelyn from the protest, defiant, changed. Has she truly transformed? Or is it fragile? Aspen noticed. Penny for your thoughts? Ashlyn smiled faintly. Just wondering if we made the right choices. Aspen pulled her close. We did. We're here together. Evelyn visited often, the drive a commitment to connection. Dinners became rituals of sharing, laughter mixing with serious talks. I've joined a book club reading about queer history, Evelyn shared. Ashlyn's skepticism faded. Actions speak. But memories haunted. Past hurts don't vanish. Tyler's reconciliation progressed haltingly. He attended a family therapy session admitting influences. Dad warped my views. Ashlyn forgave gradually. We all have blind spots. But inside, trust rebuilds slowly. Society's evolution mirrored theirs. Local laws shifting toward inclusion. But backlash persisted. Ashlyn volunteered, advocating. Change starts with stories. Aspen taught with renewed passion, incorporating diversity. Their love, once hidden, bloomed openly. Yet conflicts arose. A workplace event required +1s. Ashlyn hesitated inviting Evelyn, fearing regression. She went, surprising Ashlyn with grace. "I'm here for you." Pride swelled, but caution. One step back could undo all. Aspen's family gathering highlighted contrasts. Acceptance effortless there. Ashlyn envied, but appreciated her own journey's depth. Ours is hard-won. A crisis tested bonds. Evelyn faced health scare, a minor heart issue. Hospital vigil united them. Tyler arrived, remorseful. "I almost lost you over stupidity." Evelyn squeezed his hand. "We learn." Ashlyn reflected. Near loss clarifies priorities. Recovery brought introspection. Evelyn wrote letters detailing regrets. "I robbed you of unconditional love." Ashlyn read, tears flowing. Response. "We're rewriting our story." As time healed, Ashlyn pondered the saga's toll. Lost jobs, strained relations, emotional scars. Worth it? Aspen's unwavering support affirmed. Yes, for authenticity. They celebrated anniversaries, Evelyn toasting. To love conquering fear. Tyler echoed, growth evident. But perfection eluded. Debates flared over politics, old biases surfacing. Ashlyn navigated, choosing dialogue over division. In quiet moments, Ashlyn journaled. Decisions define legacies. Mom's stand against police ignited change, but demanded sacrifices. Was it the catalyst needed? Their story spread subtly, friends shared, inspiring others. Ashlyn realized pain births progress. Yet, at journey's end, one question lingers. In the face of deep-seated prejudice, is radical forgiveness a strength or a surrender?